So this is a case. Again, in center, here the energy level metal complex, I picked up only the T2G and EG orbitals, okay? And here's a ligand field of the pi donor level, so meaning the electrons are occupied in the pi state, and pi acceptor case, pi still, because this one is going to electron accepting level. So for example, carbon or CN, this is halogen molecule, halogen ion species. And so this is metal complex, and then this pi orbital is interacting with a T2G orbital, and then so making bonding and anti-bonding and shifting T2G upwards, and the pi donor, so this gap is getting smaller, right? On the other hand, so by using the pi acceptor case, this energy level is pushed down, that makes this gap larger. So light absorption is more blue side, you could observe. So these are the general basics, and there are many many variations of metal complex, and of course I cannot cover all the aspects or for the light optical property of the metal complex, but the basic idea for this is a ligand field and metal molecular orbitals must be considered in the interaction between them. And I would like you to hear the some of the most famous metal complex, some of them, and the one is chlorophyll. Right? Chlorophyll is this. There are many types of several chlorophyll types, but basically it is made of the magnesium complex like this. So magnesium is covered by this molecule, the ligand field was like a square-like shape, but there are many functional groups attached. So depending on the functional groups, and there are several types of the chlorophylls. So, but I'd like to know that this is color is given by these metal complex molecules. And actually, as you see in the leaves or plants, and you see the color of green, and this green color is given from this structure. And especially for chlorophyll, that there are two types of the typical absorption band called a Solar band and Q band. You could see two different types of chlorophylls. The Solar band is typical around the blue region from 400 to 500 nanometer, and a Q band, which is located around 600 to 700, meaning the red. So blue and red are absorbed by chlorophyll, meaning the green side is open. That makes the most of the leaves green. And one of the interesting things is for the chlorophyll is that in our body we have hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin, the carrier of the ion, and in our blood, right? So this hem has quite similar structure with chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is made of magnesium complex, but hem is almost a similar structure, but center metal is different. It's made of the ion complex. So by the way, this basic structure is called a pyro. So four pyro structure, and actually they are connected to each other. That makes the chlorophyll and hem the basic structure. And that's the last part. This is just a storytelling, but as you know, the photosynthesis is one of the most important photochemistry, and it could happen on the surface of the plant, and this is the surface of plants, and you have several protein molecules in the leaves of the skin, and the photoresponsive happens two parts, which are called the PS1 and the PS2. And as I mentioned, in these proteins, the chlorophylls are included. That's why light is absorbed by these proteins. And here's the energy diagram. There are many different complicated processes happens, but key point is it's like a pump of energy. So one of the PS2 system, right, absorbed and giving energy, and the other type is right absorbed and giving energy. And during this process, the ATP is synthesized, and also NADPH formed. So it's basically the energy generating process, and during this process, there are many exchange of the molecules and ions happen during this process. Okay. So with that, let's finish up about the metal complex and photochemistry subject.